Hello, everybody. It's Jackie, Jing, and Cece, and we got to see Black Widow, and we have a lot of thoughts on it. So before we get into that, please subscribe to our YouTube page and hit the little notification bell, and follow us on all the different social media platforms. We love talking about nerdy stuff. I'm obviously a big anime fan. She's wearing a Star Wars shirt right now. We love comic books. We love video games, and we do a lot of reactions to trailers in all those different fandoms. But particularly excited about Black Widow. She's a big DC fan, and I'm kind of like both. But I'll be honest, I was not the biggest Black Widow fan. It wasn't like I didn't like her, but I just was like kind of like vibed with some of the other characters more, you know? Mm-hmm. And but when this movie came out and the trailers started coming out, I was like, this looks so damn good. Like I was really impressed. So don't worry, we're not going to go into spoilers in the beginning. I'll give a spoiler warning when we go into spoilers. But my review overall for this quick spoiler-free review is that it's a really good time. There is a ton of action. There's a lot of good comedic bits, and it's a Marvel movie through and through. It's a great, like, you're just gonna be enjoying yourself if you go in the theater, and it's been so dang long since we've been in theaters, so yeah. You know, like, definitely think that this would be like a fun one to just be like, yo, we're going to the theater with friends, we're gonna get some laughs in. Visually it's gonna be off the chain, it's gonna be thrilling, and I'm going to get to see Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Rip, you know, Avengers Endgame, she's gone. So I mean, like, I don't know, it pays homage to her in a great way, and I definitely think that it was thoroughly entertaining. Do I have some issues with it? Of course. I do think at times it got a little bit slow. I also have really bad ADD and ADHD, so, you know, for me to be fully enthralled in a movie, like, through and through is really difficult. So at parts it dragged for me a little bit, but overall I love John Wick. I love, like, all action movies, comic book movies, for their fight choreography, like kung fu movies and stuff like that. And I thought the fight choreography was excellent. I thought it had some really dramatic, like, landscape scenes where things are, like, blown up and falling apart. I think one outlet, like, wrote that it was, like, very Bourne Identity-ish, and I got vibes of that for sure too. So for me, it was very fun. My favorite Marvel movie? No. One of the best movies I've seen in my entire life? No. But was it fun? 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Cinematically, it was beautiful. The action was great. It was fun. Like, I would always, even though I lean more DC, I would watch any superhero movie, you know, and for me, it was pretty up there in my list of superhero movies, you know, that I've seen. I think, you know, Marvel just under Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite. So, but it was good. It was, you know, the action was there, the heart was there, like you said. I mean, I think you covered it pretty well.
Okay. Sorry if I took all the good points. But now let's dig into spoilers. So if you don't want to hear about spoilers, we're like 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. So hopefully you vibe with us and you're going to go out to the theater. Maybe some of you watching now want to do the deep dive. So stick around. We're giving you guys 3 seconds to get the hell out of here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're talking spoilers. Okay, so I already talked about all of my favorite points, so now I'm gonna start, like, going a little bit deeper on what I wasn't the biggest fan of. And for me, like, I thought there were so many great actors in this. I absolutely love Rachel Weisz. I think that's how you say her last name. But, like, I wanted to see more from her. I felt like her role, like, it just didn't allow her to, like, come out as much as I wanted her to. Yeah. So that was, like, a little bit frustrating to me. But what did you think about her character?
I enjoyed it. Like you said, I wanted to see more. I love family dynamics and just backstory. You know, I know this was mainly, this movie was about her backstory and where she came from and that whole, you know, family dynamic. And I would have liked to see more of that. Although, you know, the movie, they can only do so much, you know, within the time period. But I did enjoy the heart-to-hearts that they did have with the mom and the dad.
So what do you think is specifically about Rachel Weisz, though? Like, I thought her character, I wanted to see more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she wasn't.
It's like, she's such a great actress. Yeah, she's one of, like, the better actresses out there.
Give her.
And I was so excited she was going to be a part of this. And then it was like, we really saw nothing from her.
Yeah, and she's beautiful, too.
Yeah, I mean, she's beautiful, but I mean, like, she's also, like, an incredibly good actor. Yeah. So, like, I was like, give her story, give her depth, give her lines. So I was a little bit disappointed. She played Melina Vostokov, who ended up being a like kind of like a laboratory scientist for them, but also like a spy. And so she was like super intelligent, and I just was like, oh my god, I wanted to see more from her. And then, oh my god, David Harbour as Alexei, the Red Guardian. I mean, I thought was absolutely hysterical. I think that, I mean, like, he's in Stranger Things. I actually didn't mind him in Hellboy. I think he's a really fun, great actor, and I thought that he nailed Red Guardian. Yeah. I definitely felt like there was no connection between Melina and Alexei and Natasha and Yelena. Like, it was like they were trying to make it like that, and then it was, and it hurt for me, because I actually thought they were going to be Natasha's actual parents. Like, I thought Melina and Alexei were actually going to be their parents. Again, I haven't read the comic books for Black Widow, so, like, I don't know if, like, everybody who reads the comics were like, oh, no, duh, like, they were obviously a spy family put together. But, like, I was kind of like, oh, like, it lost a lot of that hit for me by them being just, like, kind of thrown together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was nice that she kept the photo album, but I was like, have her cry, you know? I mean, like, have her be like, this is the only, like, because Florence Pugh actually was very good in this movie. I actually thought Florence in ways overshadowed Scarlett, which, full disclosure, like, I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she was a great Natasha, Black Widow, but I feel like she can be kind of like, you know, like, I don't know, like, reminds me of George Clooney. Like, you play one role and you fit into all of them. You know what I mean? There's not, like, George Clooney's a great actor. Scarlett Johansson's a great actor, but it's, like, kind of like one role we kind of see, or one kind of, like, acting we see in different roles, you know? So, Florence, like, you know, I've seen her do a bunch of different stuff, like, from, like, Little Women to, like, I don't even know, she's been involved in so many projects now, and I really liked what she brought to Yelena, which was, like, a little spicier, a little sassier, a little bit more petulant, and I really thought that she outshone Natasha and Scarlett Johansson. I was, like, really impressed by it.
Emotionally, she brought it so much more.
Yeah. And maybe it's because, I mean, understandably, and we love Black Widow because she's kind of a hard ass who doesn't have a lot of emotions, you know? So I think that maybe Scarlett Johansson was leaning into that, and just, like, the pressure of having to be, like, such, you know, to have to put all those feelings aside, and to, my hair is stuck in the microphone somehow. Anyway, there's a lot here. But
her, you know, backstory.
Yeah, so it's like, maybe that's just the way she is. So I think, you know, just to wrap up my point, because now I'm, like, going on forever, I was excited for a family dynamic, and I think they tried to hit it, but the beats didn't hit for me, and that kind of made me feel sad, and I felt like we could have seen more from Rachel and David Harbour, but again, action movie, great, tons of action, like, stuff's blowing up, there's, like, wild stuff happening, there is, like, the Red Room is just, like, this crazy organization, and you got to see, like, all these really badass female characters, you know? So I liked how they were, like, trying to release them, and it, like, felt, like, empowering, and I loved that. But for me, I just felt like the story felt a little bit short for me. I really wanted to see more from Rachel Weisz. I thought we did get to see Scarlett Johansson kind of on a different level, and it got more depth to Black Widow than we've seen in past movies around Marvel. I kind of just wanted just a smidge more. But I'm being super picky right now. We're deep diving, folks. Overall, I thought this was a very fun movie. Really, really good time. But yeah. So those are that was, like, my only gripe, and going into spoilers a little bit. Like, that was kind of the one I was like,
Yeah, some parts were slower for sure, and it seemed to, you know, not go as fast paced as some other parts. Like, the beginning was really good,
really
like
fast
we talked
and
about,
awesome, yeah.
You know, and then there were some really prolonged, it felt like, scenes that were just dragged out a bit. But I did, like you said, Florence, you know, was really good. in this movie. And I thought David was great. Like, he was funny. He brought, the action.
Yeah.
He brought the heart, too, into
Yeah, he
this.
had
So much more than
Rachel?
Rachel,
Yeah. I
Melina.
think, like, David was trying to connect with the girls more than Melina was. Or I guess Rachel was, or you know what I mean? Like, Alexia and Melina. And that's why I was kind of, like, sad, because, like, I wanted to see more from Rachel Weisz. I wanted her to be, like, like, they got their uteruses ripped out. Like, all three of them. Like, they had that, there was no potential for them to ever have kids. You know what I mean? Which is, like, we won't even get into that, but it's just, like, I felt like it was trying to commentate on that a little bit, and maybe they stepped back from it because it could be really controversial, but it was like, I don't know, I just was expecting more from, and I'm not blaming that on Rachel. I think she's a really freaking good actress, and I think it was just like, it wasn't written really that character wasn't written to like bring that out. I also want to talk about the ending a little bit. I thought that we both got a little bit lost and we're kind of like not like following, because I think it got a little bit boring, to be honest, and I just kind of was like, okay. Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about was the villain.
Yes,
that was cool. I thought that was a really cool twist. Love the costume. And I don't know if like other people knew that was coming again, like from the comics, but like I didn't see that coming. And then I like loved when she was actually a woman. And she was, like, literally, like, in physical, emotional, mental pain. And I was just like, free her, free her from this, you know? So I'm like, man, I hope we get to see more with her, potentially.
Yes.
You never know in Marvel movies. Like, I'm like, maybe her dad comes back, though he looked like he got fried to a crisp.
Yeah. Yeah, the mind
That was pretty
control
crispy, yeah. I mean, I don't know. But you never know in Marvel. So anyway, but yeah, like I really enjoyed her too. But I did feel like the ending was a little like, some things were really predictable. It was kind of losing me a little bit in the end.
Yeah, that was good. And I also liked the guy that, or was it her who, like when they were out on the street and in that costume, was that her?
Yeah, in the blue?
Okay.
Yeah. That was
in that full suit?
Yeah, I forgot the name of the daughter, but also that was
Is
that, again, to be harping here, it wouldn't say on here yet because it's a spoiler. I think it's a spoiler. I don't even think it shows it on here. We have like the IMDb up, so she's like trying to look at stuff like that, but I don't think they have that revealed yet. But anyway, so awkward. Thanks, Cece, for the awkwardness. But I think like overall we really enjoyed it. Again, we were just like being really nitpicky here. It's gonna be a fun time. And I do agree with Cece. It's probably up there for Marvel movies for me. Yeah. So check it out. I'd say check it out. All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and we will have more reviews and trailer reactions and all that jazz later. So yeah. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, hit the notification bell, and follow us on all the different social media platforms. Bye.